20 years ago, I was financially stressed. A college grad in Boston, barely able to pay my bills. And these three changed my life. I was able to create a financial framework to help build my wealth on automation, stress-free. In this video, I'm going to talk about this system in three parts. The first part is going to be how the system actually works. The second part is going to be the implementation of this system. In my opinion, this is the most important part, and I recommend that you watch it again and again. Remember, unless you implement this system, it's never gonna work. So try it out. And the last part is going to be scaling up from here, what to do next, and the most important thing is how not to sabotage this system. Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors of all time, the top 10 richest person in the world. And if he was not giving to charity, would easily be the richest person today by a big margin. He introduced me to the power of compounding. Albert Einstein calls it the eighth wonder of the world. But how does this apply to us? Well, let's look at Becky. Becky was a smart 22-year-old who wanted to build her wealth, and she came across Warren Buffett. She did some digging and found out that he recommends putting small sums of money over time in the S&P 500 index fund to build your wealth. She did some more digging to find out that Warren Buffett believes in this fund so much that he had put $1 million bet if a hedge fund manager could beat this fund over a decade. And he won. Not only that, in his will he has mentioned that all his wife's inheritance would be put in the S&P 500 index fund. So powerful is this fund that it beats almost all the funds of the US. That's more than 2,100 funds over a 10 to 15 year period. In fact, if you go for even a longer duration, there is no match for this fund. Becky got started right away. She found out that Vanguard has the reputation of being the fund house which has one of the lowest expenses, which is the secret behind this fund's success. Although there are more than 500 indexes out there, out of which there were 70 S&P 500 index fund, it made sense for her to go with Vanguard simply because of its reputation and keeping it a low cost over a decade or more. And why not? Vanguard was founded by Mr. Bogle, who has always been a proponent of keeping low cost and looking after the interest of the investors like us. So she got started right away, putting $300 a month in the S&P 500 index fund. Not only that, she got her two friends, John and Andrew, interested in this as well. John, however, waited till he was able to put in $500 a month at the age of 32. Andrew waited even a decade more to put in $1,000 a month. Becky, on the other hand, had just added $30 more. Years passed into decades and retirement came, for they had made a pact. No matter what, we'll keep on investing, never withdrawing until retirement. Andrew was the most excited when they met. And why not? He had put in $312,000 in this fund. That is $100,000 more than John. And he had got the compounding gift, $1.2 million in the S&P 500 index fund. But he was surprised. John had $1.5 million. That's $250,000 more than Andrew, even with lesser investment. But they both knew that Becky must have beat them both. But the question was how much? And the answer shocked. Becky had $2.5 million. That too with 1/3 the investment of Andrew and 1,300% return. But the story didn't end here.